First thing I'll miss is the marble, and I'll miss the woodwork. And as you know, I was in room 211. I was fortunate enough to be in that room, which was the old library. So that was always a real plus, and it just made it feel like it was a place of learning. And just that ambiance that it gave off. And I also miss the fact that you could look out and the windows, I had two fancy windows, it just has a beautiful breeze that would come through. And the clanking of the pipes in the middle of the winter, but you got used to it. You learn how to have like time here while you can answer a question. You can say, okay, ready, ding, 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 no. And so it was good. But yeah, I'll miss it. I'll miss the ambiance. I'll miss, just again, it felt like education. It felt like a school. So, but we would, I think, do the same thing without the bookcases.
I think it was kind of it's been a landmark from not living in the area my whole life, but coming to Bloomington Normal as a high schooler to go to the movies or whatever. I always knew of Normal Community High School because of its location, and you know, you come around that curve and that's the very first thing you see, and it'll be weird to see that gone.
I'm going to miss this school a lot. This room right here where I taught accounting for the last 8 years, I learned how to type in this room back in 1989. I spent a lot of time in the band rooms. I was in band for 3 years. I'm going to miss the windows. I'm going to miss the air. I'm not going to miss the heat, but I'm going to miss the character of the building. I'll remember this past few years, my overhead would blow the outlet and I have to run down the hallway and flip it back on. I remember about 3 years ago, I actually fell over in this chair and was looking right up at that ceiling right there. Just a couple days ago, I had 5 guys walk in wearing t-shirts with a picture of me on it from my high school days. So lots of good memories.
What's going to go through your mind when the ball hits this part of the building?
Well, I'm going to be here for that, and it's really going to take a little piece of me with it. As I said, I spent a lot of time in this room, and I've enjoyed being here as a teacher. I enjoyed growing up in this community, and growing up, I always wanted to be an Ironman, and that meant being right here. And so that historic landmark, that historic feeling is going to be taken away a little bit, I believe.
And so the moment is when I'm sitting in the front row of the balcony and opening night of any play, 33 years of 3 productions, 34 years of 3 productions a year. That moment when I sit there and the lights went down, it goes up, I'll picture myself missing that. I will envision that more than anything else, because those kids doing that symbolizes all the successes and failures they've had there and in here.
Alright, well, the main thing that I'm going to miss about the old part of the building is other than being 1,000 degrees every day in the summertime, I'm going to miss those stairway jams that you could always use it as an excuse to be late to class. And the thing about the stairway jam is you got people coming from up the stairs, down the stairs, this side of the hallway and that side of the hallway. So you got the doors opening, so you can always try to hit somebody with the doors. And then you got the problem with people with huge backpacks and all that kind of stuff. You got people that want to go real slow and talk, and you got people that want to go real fast and get to class for some reason. But stairway jams are the worst. And it's unfortunate that people going to the new school aren't going to be able to experience stairway jams. There's a lot of good memories and stuff, and people aren't gonna be able to experience that with the new part of the building. And it was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great memories, and a lot of great teachers taught up in the old part of the building too.
High school kid. In 1957, I went to a Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Braves doubleheader baseball game at Wrigley Field. And I remember walking into their restroom and they had marble urinals. Just fascinating. When I got to Normal Community High School, that's exactly what they had. And I don't think they'll ever fall down until they knock them down.
I think it's sad. I mean, I think a lot of people want new stuff, but I think, as I said before, I think the old end will stand forever. I like it. I just feel like when you sit there, you think of all the other people that were there before you, and what they did and how they acted, and I like the old days. Sure, it's hot. I was on 3rd floor for 30-something years, and it's hot. But it's also nice to look out your windows and see all the way to Bloomington. In the afternoon, you can see everything that's going on. The ones that haven't been there will miss a lot. The people that have been there are going to cry a lot. I've talked to people now that are like the lady that was at the board meeting. Those people are sad to see it come down because that's part of their life. And there are a lot of people that went to school there that are going to miss that, driving by and seeing their school because they'll never see it again. I think that's sad. And I think homecoming will change too because those people, where are they going to go now for homecoming? You know, the people that have been there for the last 75 years, where are they going to go for homecoming? Because their school's not there anymore. They may go to the new school because it's called Normal Community, but it's not their school. And I think that would be something that they'll miss.
All the good memories I had at NCHS, I think that a lot of them come from the uniqueness of the old end of the building. I mean, things like Mr. Keogh's room or searching for N207 on the first day of freshman year. Those are just some of the sorts of things that the new end of the building or the new building itself, students there will never have those sort of memories, and it's just sort of a unique aspect of the school that just made the school day a little bit better. And teachers like Miss Urbance, you know, Mr. Patton, being in the old end of the building was something special, and I think it's really a shame that students will never know what that's like again.
All the history that they're losing, and I know a lot of alums that live in our community thinking that, you know, that's where they went to school, and it'll be a challenge to make them feel welcome and feel like the new normal community is where they went to high school, because when that wrecking ball hits, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be destroying some of the memories that we all have about the, you know, the holes in the walls and the bits and pieces falling apart and the clanking radiators and all those things that became kind of, you know, characteristic of the building and added a little bit of character to it. I have a lot of memories about certain students in that building, and you know, the hospital horn kids kicking the wall or doing something to leave their trademark on it, and just walking into my class and just kind of looking at the crumbling wall and knowing that I had to make sure that students weren't going to dig their way out and we weren't going to see daylight through the wall one day. But you know, so there'll definitely be a part of me that misses it, and another part again, just having that, you know, where that's where I started teaching, and that was my first classroom, and it'll be weird not being able to ever go back and look at it again and saying, hey, this is where I started. And so now it's going to be gone. And the new school is going to be so nice, it's going to be really easy to take it for granted. And I think the students who saw the old part of the building and went to class there will realize that how much they should appreciate the new building that we have. Because the old part, while being unique, there was definitely a part where you had to work for what you got out of it. And you had to be creative to use the facilities, and now we've got great facilities, and I just hope everybody understands how fortunate we are and how blessed we are to have them.
What I liked about the old part was while new schools seem to look the same and have this freezing temperature, I loved the old part because I was just always comfortable, and everyone else was sweating, but I always liked the temperature. And in the winter with the clang of the radiators, I knew that I'd stay warm too. So it's just a comfortable place to learn because you didn't feel like you were in an institution. You were in like this interesting place. You could look at the walls and ceilings, and there's all this like neat looking.
I always remember like the memories we had in the old part. For instance, the time that Mary and I and Tracy Monson and Lindsay Venerable went up on the roof illegally off the second floor for the ink spot. And I'll just remember like all the times I had with my friends, especially from journalism.
I think the old part of normal is just like something special that makes you feel different from the rest of the students in this city or even in Illinois. You just don't have a school that's like so much history and tradition that's in that part. I mean, there's like secret doors and stuff that's just unique.
I think some of my strongest memories are days where I had to bring 2 shirts to school because by noon my first shirt was just soaked through with sweat, teaching on the 3rd floor in the North End. And there were several days that were that bad. Those kinds of days, and then the days in winter when it was 0 degrees outside and 90 degrees in the classrooms because we couldn't control the heat. You know, I'll think a little bit about the people that I taught with there that aren't there anymore. Peg Kirk and Dan Kuglich and people like that, people that are still there that maybe I'm not going to be able to work with as much. because we won't be as closely brought together, perhaps. Kelly Keogh, for example, guys like that. And one of the things that they're going to be missing is the great old blackboards in the other end of the building. And we're going to have the new dry erase boards, and that's disappointing for me. There's something kind of nostalgic about losing the blackboard, I think. But the thing I think they're going to miss the most is just the wonder of seeing the world change over the course of a school year out those big windows. Every year, the first big snowfall, everything stops and the kids look out the windows and see the snow come down. We had a big, huge maple tree that just glared red in late fall, and those are the things that they're going to miss out on. We're not going to see those things at the new school, and that's a little disappointing.
I've been teaching there 31 years, and I originally started off teaching in room 161, and that was a 1967 edition, and then I moved up into the old end of the building, the 1927 edition, and that was there that I sort of felt like I was a part of the real Normal Community High School, being in the old end of the building. I had an office in actually the old office, the original office of Normal Community High School, and so it's I have some good memories of the old building there. And there's, you know, you pour your heart and your soul out into a building like Normal Community High School, and you have a lot of good memories, and you interact with so many different students over the course of the years that, you know, a piece of yourself really is with the building, and so it's really going to be a tough thing in a way to see that happen, but I guess that's progress. Yeah. I know my own children have mentioned that to me over the course of time, that when they're in that end of the building, they feel like they're really in a school more so than when they're in the newer end of the building. So yeah, it has that character, no doubt about it.
When I first came, I came from 2 different schools that did not have an auditorium. And to play in an auditorium that was actually an auditorium that sounded acoustically wonderful was a great experience. And to be able to have band concerts in there, jazz band concerts, choir concerts, it was a wonderful place. People could actually sit, you could darken it, and it wasn't a gym. As far as the other part of the building, I came from a new high school that didn't have an auditorium, and so to come into one was just wonderful. As far as the other part of the building is concerned, the rooms are very functional and work very well, and they're converted cafeterias and that kind of thing, but they're wonderful. We won't miss moving the chairs and stands up and down stairs and that kind of stuff, and the new facility is wonderful. But even today, walking into the auditorium and seeing the curtains down is kind of nostalgic, and knowing that it won't be used anymore. We had Bob Allen, who was one of my high school band directors, come back and do a number with the band Tuesday night at the concert. And he told a story to the kids about performing on that stage 61 years ago.